So I recently swapped back to a LCD display from an OLED. Like, not really because I have to, but because I wanted to test out the ASUS VG5A. It's a 300Hz, 27-inch, 1440p IPS gaming monitor, and it is pretty interesting. So I wanted to answer a few questions, which is, number one, can I live with an IPS after I've lived with an OLED, and like what would I miss? And number two, other things that I forgot are advantages about LCD that are still better on LCD than really any OLED. First and foremost, this monitor is a pretty bog standard monitor in 2025. It's IPS and it's on the higher end of things, but 300Hz isn't that crazy, 27-inch is far from crazy, and 1440p is far from crazy. It's a nice IPS display, so it has the characteristics of an IPS panel you expect. Relatively decent contrast and decent contrast ratio, natural looking colors that aren't crazy saturated but still very pleasant and enjoyable to look at, and generally good viewing angles and good sharpness. So let's talk about what I experienced, moving back from an OLED panel to an IPS. The first thing that I definitely missed the most was the motion clarity. I just love how crisp and clear OLED is, and that enables me to not only enjoy great colors with an OLED panel, but also use that in an esports game to its full potential, right? Like esports gaming is my main jam, playing Valorant, that kind of thing. So having that great motion clarity of OLED is it's just a blessing, It's just a great time, and I do miss that. The next thing I missed the most was that OLED had beautiful colors, as I've already mentioned. I mean, the punchiness, the contrast, and the saturation, considering that I always use my monitor in a pretty dark room anyway, is one of the key features of OLED that I just adore and love. Like, I can't live without this thing. It's like just so nice. Well, when I play games like Cyberpunk and I want to get immersed, when I watch videos on YouTube or when I watch TV shows, I want to see those deep dark blacks and that punchy color. And it just hits different on OLED. And that leads me to things that I forgot were just far better on LCD panels than OLED. One of those things was the sharpness. Like, text sharpness and just general clarity on LCDs are just still so much better than what you get on OLED. Like, I forgot that slight softness on the edges and slight, circliness and defocused feel I get when I look at OLED isn't technically what we consider sharp. It's just me gaslighting myself because I love OLED so much. When I hop back to LCD and I can see each pixel clearly, like with sharp edges, it's not necessarily the most enjoyable. I don't know whether everyone's going to like that, but it is crisper. It is sharper. Text is clearer on LCD still. Till this day, maybe next generation OLEDs will fix this. I haven't tried the tandem OLEDs. Maybe they caught up with LCDs on this front. But sharpness and clarity in detail for the same pixel density is still, I think, slightly better on an IPS LCD of good quality like this one than an OLED. So if you're just working and you don't care about watching videos, movies, gaming, or whatever, LCDs, man. Cheaper too. Anyways, the next thing that I forgot was just so nice about LCDs is just endless brightness headroom, like being not concerned about whether the curtains are open or closed and being able to just crank the brightness so that it's bright enough to be comfortable no matter what situation I am in. I mean, the peak brightness of the monitor is really nice. It's just like it's a quality of life thing. Personally, I don't care too much because I generally have my curtains closed anyway, but sometimes when there's just like an annoying stray ray of light shining through the shades, from the sun, directly blasting on your screen, with an LCD of good quality like this, just bump up the brightness and don't worry about it. So then, OLED, LCD. Am I switching back? Am I getting back with my ex? No, I am not getting back with LCDs because at the end of the day though, OLED is still a generational improvement, and even though there are still shortcomings to the technology in future generations of it, it is going to catch up with LCD panels. That is for certain. And more importantly than that, it's just that OLED gives you more of everything. Like, you can just do more things at the same time than an LCD, whereas with the LCD, you just have more limitations. If you want clarity, you have to go ugly TN panel. If you want speed, you have to sacrifice clarity. With OLED, you get amazing colors and then you get great clarity that's almost as good as most of the best esports monitors. You can just do everything at once. And once the text clarity issues are fixed and tandem OLEDs and whatever comes after that gets brighter and brighter, OLEDs are just going to be night and day above LCDs, just shoulders above, because it is a generational improvement. So for me, I'm going back to OLED. I'm gonna stick with the new choice. LCD still has plenty of merit. It's still cheaper. It still has a few advantages. It's quickly getting diminished though, as OLEDs get cheaper and LCDs and get brighter as well and get clearer and sharper. It's important to keep in mind if you're buying a gaming monitor for the next 5-10 years. Oh yeah, and of course, OLEDs have burn-in risk. LCDs don't. So at the end of the day, I'm still going to continue sticking with OLED because I personally love the cutting edge and I think the trade-offs are worth it. I also think that as generations go by, OLED is going to catch up and get as good as LCD on every single front and be better in many other fronts that LCDs could never touch. So I'm still sticking with OLED technology, and if it means I have to replace my monitor in 2 or 3 years because of possibility of burn-in, so be it, because by that point, OLED technology would have been a lot more matured and probably be really insanely crazy good, way better than any LCD. So yes, I still think getting an OLED is much better.